Okay, so on page, let me find it. I think it's 137. Yes, on page 137, we have a series of these example problems that go over challenging translations. So we know how to go from the original figure to the new figure, also known as the prime figure. But how do we go from the prime figure to the original, or how do we work backwards? That is the problem that we're tackling here. So number 27, it says, triangle FGH is translated to triangle MNP. Okay, so we start with triangle FGH, that's our original, and we're translating it, or we're moving it across the coordinate plane to become triangle MNP. So we are given the points F, G, M, and P. F, G, M, and P. Find the coordinates of H and N. Then write the coordinates of the translation. Okay. So we know how to get from the original figure to the new one. We just match up the corresponding points. Now remember, when we write a translation statement, we are performing the exact same change on X, and we are performing, the exact same change on Y for each coordinate. So if we can somehow find out the rule in this first set where they give us both the first point in one triangle, they give us point F, and a point in the second triangle, point M, we can see what the rule is, what this rule is. So how did we get from the original figure to the prime? Well, we added 1 to the X, and we subtracted 7 from the Y. So if we know that this is the rule, add 1 to the X and subtract 7 from the Y, we can find out that point N is going to be -1 plus 1 gives me 0, and 4 minus 7 gives me -3. Over here, if we go from the original to the new, we're going to add 1 and take away 7. But in this instance, we are not going from the original to the prime. We have the information for the prime, and we need to go back to the original. So whenever we work backwards, we need to change the sign. We need to change the sign. And now our translation becomes, we're working backwards, so we're going to take away 1, and we're going to add 7. So in order to get H, we're going to take 6, subtract 1, we'll get 5. We'll take -3, add 7, and we're going to get +4. So now, in our new figure, point N is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. And we'll get this figure here. And the missing point from the beginning point H is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. So the question asks us to write the coordinates, form of the translation. So when we write a coordinate form of a translation, remember it's going to look like this. So it will say, how did X change from here to here? We added 1. How did Y change from here to here? We subtracted 7. And that will be our translation statement. Let's just double check on the figure. Does this make sense? We move right 1 and then 7 down. And yes, that'll bring us to N. Good. If we start at F, we move write 1, and 7 down, we'll get to M. That's good. And then if we start at H, we move 7 down and write 1. That's good. Okay, on this next problem, it says under translation XY, we subtract 4 from every X coordinate and we add 5 to every Y coordinate. Triangle ABC has translated vertices A prime, B prime, and C prime. We are trying to find the coordinates of the original. So the coordinates of A, B, and C. So we need to find these coordinates up here of the original figure. Now the translation statement tells us that to get from the original to the new figure, we subtract 4 from every X and we add 5 to every Y. But in this instance, we're working backwards. And remember, when we work backwards, we have to change the sign. So now, instead of subtracting 4 from every X, we're working backwards, so we're going to add 4 to every X. Instead of adding 5 to every Y, we're going to work backwards and subtract 5 from every Y. So I'm going to replicate this change. And I'm going to erase this old one and write the new change. And this is how we work backwards to find the original. So let me go through. Negative 8 plus 4 gives me negative 4. 5 minus 5 gives me 0. 2 plus 4 gives me 6. 7 minus 5 gives me 2. 3 plus 4 gives me 7. And 1 minus 5 gives me negative 4. Now let's put these points into the graph. So A, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the A original. B original is going to be right here. And then C original is going to be right here. Let's connect our points. And let's just double check our work. So to get from A to A prime, we went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. And then we went left 1, 2, 3, 4. So we went up 5 units and left 1, 2, 3, 4. To get from C original to C prime, we went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 5, left to the 4. Perfect. To get from B original to B prime, we went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. That reflects the rule. So we can say, let's look at our translation statement down here. X is to the left of 4 to the left, and Y is up 5. So everything matches right now. We know that our answer is correct. So when it says find the coordinates of A, B, C, and this is what we found, we know that our answer is correct.